Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today we're going to talk about the topic of accents, the role they play, how we can reframe them, as well as how we can work on them if we want to reduce them. If you're new to this channel and want to learn more about how you can use technology to improve your languages, follow me on my journey to improve my own languages, as well as cover all topics related to languages, then you can click on the like button and also subscribe. I'm mentioning this because in the beginning I saw accents always as something bad, as something to cover or hide, that you want to lose or reduce. However, it can also make us interesting because if other people hear our accents, it sparks a conversation about where you're from and our story. So I think the first part is about acknowledging that accents are normal and that they are part of us and make us interesting. However, there are of course reasons to master language and also improve pronunciation to approximate the actual sound and the way the language is spoken in order to be better understand and also connect with the beauty of the language. That's why now I want to propose 7 concrete steps you can take in order to improve your pronunciation in your target language. Number 1 is probably the most obvious step. Listen and imitate. And this can include very different forms. For example, you can listen to a song, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch movies. But the important thing is that you listen and really try to see how they speak regarding the pronunciation and also the tone of the voice and the flow and the melody. So I think the first step is to consume as much as possible to really get used to the sound of the language. Then the problem is if we just watch or just listen, then we never practice to pronounce ourselves. That's why, for example, I will list down below different podcasts which help me in the different languages. For example, Coffee Break is a series where they invite the listener to repeat after them. So you have the original phrase and directly afterwards you try to pronounce it yourself. There are also different features in applications such as Duolingo where you can use the function to speak. And I think this is very important because otherwise we get very good at listening, at understanding, but when it comes to responding, we don't feel prepared. Another concrete step I'm taking is using a LingQ, which is an application where you have the transcript of podcasts but also YouTube videos. So you can listen and read at the same time, which helps me to better understand words and exactly their pronunciation. Because if I only read, then I would maybe create my own pronunciation in my head, which does not reflect reality. And the good thing is that I can highlight phrases and words and click on the speak button and hear again the pronunciation. So while I'm listening to it, I can pause it, I can click on the exact word, and then I can see if my pronunciation matches the real one. So I think the most important feedback when practicing speaking and especially pronunciation is very tight feedback loops. So hearing it, trying it yourself, hearing it again, so that you have a tight feedback loop in order to improve your pronunciation. Now as a next step, there are videos on YouTube and in general in the internet with a pre-written text and also with the recording. And what can be done with this is to read it out yourself and record yourself. And then you can compare this to the original one. Of course, it's a bit strange in the beginning or uncomfortable maybe to record yourself. However, this really helps to see how you actually speak. Otherwise, it's maybe more just interpretation. So this can really help to focus on specific aspects. Another step we can take is focusing on unique sounds in our target language. Nowadays, we're fortunate enough to have guides for each language we try to learn. So we can look at the lists and then use Google Translator and other tools in order to get the right pronunciation. For example, learning Italian, we have hard sounds like the R, rolling the R, such as in cartolina or carnevale. Furthermore, we have the sound of famiglia, the I, which is also a bit difficult in the beginning. So I think focusing on exactly these sounds can help bring up your confidence in order to sound more native or feel more comfortable in your target language. Another way, which can be also fun, is to master tongue twisters. So focus on hard aspects of a language. For example, in Italian, there's the tongue twister 33 Trentini entrarono a Trento tutti e 33 trotterellando. So this can be also a fun way to master language. Furthermore, we have, of course, as I said, listen to music and you can sing along, so that can help. And lastly, you can of course get professional help. So it's nice to talk with natives for free also on platforms such as Conversation Exchange, but if you want real-time feedback from a professional, then you can also take courses in groups or in a one-to-one setting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have other tips which helped you to improve your pronunciation, then I'm very curious and would like to hear from you. Otherwise, stay tuned for the next video about language learning and see you soon.